I've had a couple of clients ask me this week, same question. They were dealing with the same challenge. So I thought, okay, good time to make this into a video because if it's on my clients' minds, I suspect it would be on your minds too. And the question is, Roberta, how do I manage up when I have a boss who has a my way or the highway attitude? And I have a different opinion. And I think my opinion is a good one. However, I find myself not knowing how to present it. Maybe I shut down. Maybe I'm a little intimidated. And I'm more, one of them said, I think I'm more conciliatory than I ought to be. So, if any of you are facing this, I will share my tips and tricks with you. My first inclination was to mirror or match that boss's tone and style. That was like my first thought, and then upon further reflection, I changed my mind a little bit. You want to mirror the focus and the intensity in the way your boss delivers the message. And again, I'm assuming this is in person, not in an email, because of course in email or text it's hard to match. Not always a good idea to match or mirror tone because that can be tricky because it's not always clear. So, for instance, if your boss is clear, sharp, and to the point, and wants to move with speed when you respond, you want to make sure you mirror that you're direct, concise, clear, and to the point. You do not, if the sounds aggressive, you do not have to be aggressive in your response back in order to match their focus and intensity. And you can use your empathy skills to say, oh, good point. I have a counterpoint that I think is equally important. I'd like to share some data with you. Would this be a good time? And then you've actually asked your boss's permission for you to give your opinion. And then when you do, you want to state it clearly, succinctly, directly, and with equal firmness and conviction, and make sure to do this in a respectful manner. Now, some of my clients have to build up their self regard before they're able to do this. They also might need to look at their emotional expression and, of course, assertiveness. So, how would you do this? If you knew you were going into a meeting where this was likely to happen, you can take a moment or two to prepare ahead of time. You might even think of some phrases that you could use in how you deliver your opinion, like the one I just said. Being sure of where you make good contributions. I often tell clients, please make a list of all your accomplishments, the ones that you are most proud of, the ones that you are certain has added value to the company, the team, your direct reports, even places when you've been visible to top management and you know that you were successful. Highlight those to yourself, kind of bolster yourself before you go in there, and anticipate how you might deliver something or what you might say. Attempt to be thoughtful. Having very clear conviction is the most important thing. Being confident when you deliver your opinion. Also, the assertiveness that's key is, I've explained this before, but I'll explain it quickly again. Think about the two extremes. Aggression means you only care about your point of view and not the other person's point of view. Passivity means you only care about the other person's point of view and you'll put yours on the back burner. Neither are ideal. You want to find that sweet spot in the middle where you care just as much about your boss's opinion, even if you disagree with it, as you do about your own. And you can come from a place of firmness and conviction, yet in a respectful manner. Hopefully, usually assertiveness can have the best chance of creating a win-win. So hopefully your boss will consider your solution and you might even say, great point. I have a different opinion. I'm asking you to consider it. Here it is. Here's my data for backing this up. What do you think? And your delivery is key. As I said, that is the most important thing. Remember to be mindful and respectful. And if you really want to go the extra mile, you will practice this in the mirror. You'll role play it with yourself, or even just practice your part of the conversation while watching yourself in the mirror. And if you were to do that several times a day, all week long, I guarantee you would improve. Remember, the goal is to feel comfortable expressing yourself in an emotionally clear, concise, direct, and convicted way. Good luck trying these things out, and I would love to hear your feedback on how they work for you.